What's going on, Gulf Coast Nation? Today we're going to be doing a review of the Tsunami Saltx 6000 and its top 5 moments that we've had with it.
Yo! Come on. Let's go. I want to let you guys know kind of why we bought this reel. So we obviously do a lot of fishing offshore, inshore, from the beach. Clients use our reels. So we needed something that would take, I wouldn't say abuse, but just take the consistent work of catching fish and, you know, moving from car to truck to beach to boat, that kind of stuff. So when we were looking, we heard some good reviews when the Saltx came out. We decided to pick it up from Sam's Bait and Tackle. We spooled it up with 300 yards of 40-pound Power Pro braid and put it to the test. And I mean, right off the bat, I could tell this reel was smooth, it was nice, and it is, I mean, it's just, it feels comfortable in your hands. Feels nice.
Another good thing about this reel, it has super high drag and it's super smooth even whenever it's locked all the way down.
Oh yeah.
And it's fully sealed. You can reel it underwater if you want. Not the most effective way to catch a fish, but you could if you wanted to. And it's real comparable to a Van Staal at the fraction of the cost. It even comes with the bailless kit, but we like the bail. And you can switch it from right to left if you want.
Can't do that on a Van Staal.
No, sir.
Can't switch them on a Van Staal. Now, before we dive into the review and the top 5 moments of this Saltx, we do use some of other Tsunami's reel products, and we absolutely love them. One of them here is the eVic 4000. This thing is very affordable, about $135. It's I think it's a top of the line saltwater reel. I mean, it puts out the carbon drag and it packs a punch. I mean, we've caught tons of fish with this reel, but one of my top things I love about it is a jack I turned at the bridge piling. I mean, lockdown drag, turned a 25, 30-pound jack off a topwater lure, you know, with this little bitty 4000 size reel, but it's definitely a do-it-all. Boat, inshore, offshore, beach, all kinds of stuff. So the eVic series is great. And then when we head offshore, me and Adam and I love slow pitch jigging. So we got a slow pitch jigging from Goofish rods here. And the forged series is fantastic. Again, very affordable, but very effective and a very tough reel. We've put these things through the works, you know, catching big AJs and then going in and out and being splashed full of salt water. They're still holding up great. It is a lever drag. You can see you've got a giant overpowered handle here, so it's great for jigging. And then, you know, if you're king fishing, you can put it out with some light drag.
Real loud clicker.
And that clicker can put out some noise there. But these Forge series, they have an 8, 10, and 12, and they're also fantastic reels if you guys are looking into some more Tsunami products.
It's number 5 on the list. This was an offshore trip that we had. This was the first time the reel has ever been offshore with us. We were looking for AJ and Kings, and we decided to move spots. And then we came across a ton of bonita, and we were on shark fishing trips, so we need bonita for bait. We were running low, so we decided to load the boat. After about 30 of them, we decided to lock the drag down and just reel them in as fast as we could and get as many as we could. And we ended up with like 106.
That was a crazy day. We got on at like 9:30 and left the schools biting at 3:30.
We could have caught 1,000.
You want to talk about putting a reel to the test?
That'll do it.
Catch 40 bonita on this reel alone and just lock down drag. It was crazy, but what a day offshore. So number 4 on the list was actually a trip that I had never intended to be like a video trip or a highlighted trip or something I would remember. My fiance had to do turtle patrol off the beach, and so I decided to tag along with her and just walk the beach separate. You know, it's morning time, flat surf, beautiful day in the summertime. So I put the Tsunami Saltx on a 10-foot surf casting rod, put a big old Nomad Chug Norris popper on that thing. Loved that popper, by the way. And just started walking the beach. Saw some schools of mullet. They were kind of cruising through. Saw them jump every once in a while. I was hoping to run into some jacks. And so I didn't see anything when this, you know, highlighted moment happened. But I just happened to see a big school of mullet, toss that popper out on the far side of it, gave it maybe 3 chugs tops. Chug, and something exploded on it. I mean, just blew up on that popper. And I thought for sure, like, you know, your mind plays stuff in slow motion. I thought, oh, I got my jack. And then it was like another half a second later, all my dreams were destroyed because I saw a black tip come shooting through the water, spinning like, 10 revolutions a second. And that thing was just shooting through the water. And, obviously I didn't have a wire leader tied up to my popper because that's just goofy if you're looking for jacks. So immediately cut me off. Quick like high to low because I lost a $30 lure. But it was awesome, and definitely, one of those moments you don't expect it to happen. So when it happens, you're just like, holy crap. I almost spent 30 minutes on the beach that morning. So for that to happen, and one of the, few times or beginning times I had got the Saltx out on the beach.
Not a bad 30 minutes.
No doubt. Definitely a highlight there. So number 3 on the list here was actually a trip that I made with Adam's brother, Austin Andrews. Adam was in school. There was actually a point in that video where Adam called me in the morning and we had just doubled up with 2 redfish. So
I was on the way to school.
It's a depressing phone call to get. Anyways. So we're out there and we'd been on a hot redfish bite. And so the reason Austin was out there is I wanted to get him on some redfish. He doesn't fish a ton. He's more of a hunting guy, but you cannot beat dropping a live bait down 10 seconds later hanging into a 35-inch redfish. I mean, you just can't beat it. And we caught like 20 that morning. So I had just planned to stand there, rebait hooks, help him get reds off quick so he could just bang, 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 and, just enjoy some big redfish strikes. But I had the Saltx with us, tied up on a popper, just like, if something weird would have happened, and something weird happened, because I looked over and was like, oh, crap, I see some jacks. So I pointed them out. They were shooting in front of the boat. I went running up there, and I ended up hooking like 5 jacks that morning. I only landed 2. Now, granted, we had bridge pilings like 30 feet on either side, but locked down Saltx against a jack crevalle. If you guys have never fought a jack crevalle, anything in the jack family really just goes, they just get it. They're hard fighting fish. They're a ton of fun and they're aggressive. I had topwater strikes on the top. I threw some live baits that got blew up on. I had a jack chase my topwater popper all the way to the boat, and when he turned off of it at the last second, like 6 inches from the boat, he actually splashed water on me. Had to clean my GoPro off. But it was awesome. Those fish are crazy aggressive. I did end up turning 2 of them away from the bridge pilings that, like I said, were 30 feet away from us. And this thing performed fantastic, putting out some really high drag on one of the hardest fighting fish that you can find in the saltwater.
Number 2 on the list, it was January 1st, first day of the year, and we wanted to go offshore, but we only had about an hour and a half to fish.
Yeah,
so
it's tight.
got out there to one of our favorite spots and put some mullet back to try to bring some amberjack up. If you want to get them super fired up, especially amberjack, put a big live bait back and make as much motion on top of the water as you can. You take your rod tip, swish it around in the water.
Create a very aggressive environment.
It'll bring him up. And we saw him on the mullet, so he grabbed the popper, threw it back there, and got like 2 chugs in.
Top
and then he smoked it.
Big AJ too.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get giant AJ at this spot, but we get a lot of them, and that AJ was probably one of the biggest.
For sure.
Lockdown drag, 85 feet of water. And, yeah, I got my butt whipped. But, hey, that was definitely one of the top moments that we've had with this reel so far. I was sick. So, number 1 on the list here, the number 1 moment that we've had with this reel thus far. There will be more moments, I promise you that. But it was actually a trip, another one, that Adam didn't get to come. He was at school, so Austin came with me. They had some family friends in town that wanted to go fishing. So, who else would you call? You call Gulf Coast Nation to get on some big fish and have a great time. So we took them out, and we just wanted to get them on some fish. We took them offshore. It was a flat day. It was super calm. You could have wakeboarded 12 miles offshore. I mean, it was awesome. But we got them on some bonita on the way out, got to our favorite amberjack spot again, and we put some live baits back in. There were amberjack everywhere. They kept getting smashed. Ripped down to the bottom, broke off, smashed, ripped down to the bottom. There was even a shark hanging around that was hungry for some snapper. But, me and Austin were trying to keep baits fresh and get them on amberjack. It was amberjack season, so we were trying to come back with some food. And it was getting like, we were fishing the evening, so the sun was kind of getting down. It was about time to start heading in so we weren't driving in the dark with, people who aren't comfortable being offshore. And Austin called out that he saw some amberjack circling the boat, which we knew they were about 20, 30 feet down. But, we hadn't had any up by the boat yet. So I grabbed the Saltx, had a big old circle hook on it, pulled out a big old mullet out of the live well. And I didn't know where they were, but I was trying to be, rushed because sometimes they come on the surface and they go right back down and you don't see them again. So I grabbed a mullet, hooked him through the lips there, and I just threw him as high as I could So he would hit the water really hard. I mean, he hit the water 6 inches from the boat, had it in free spool. I'm looking around where they are. This thing came shooting from underneath the boat, swallowed that mullet completely whole, and just took off, which is the reason why I don't like the bailless kit, because I was able to just shut that bail on him, pull that circle hook in the corner of his mouth, and I was in for the fight of my life right there. He almost took me all the way down the bottom. I got lucky. I didn't get lucky. I had this reel with me, but it was locked down. I just kept turning it. Like every 10 feet, I would just turn a little bit more, crank it a little bit more, and I was like, something's going to give here. The amberjack ended up giving. Did get him turned. He was one of the bigger amberjacks we pulled off that spot. Got a gaff in him, and we had some great amberjack steaks. But that was definitely one of the highlighted moments I've had in my fishing period, and definitely one of the highlighted moments we've had with this reel. And I think if I didn't have the Saltx on that rod, I wouldn't have turned that amberjack. There's no way. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we will keep the videos coming your way.
It won't be just one gravity.